Shalom. Call halal Yahweh by Shem Al Shai by Shem Kradash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners. And to the Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you, I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson in truth. And this was a movie that came out in 2017, King Arthur, which was directed by Guy Ritchie. And it just proves beyond a shadow of a doubt. Almost the whole story of the Bible is told in this one movie. If you, or I would say the most important parts as far as the war and the struggle between Jacob and Esau's rise and fall to power. Right, and how he would deal with the left-hand side to do so. It's all in this movie. And when the apostles often say, and I've heard all of them say, how these Hollywood directors and movie directors read the scriptures for inspiration. And by watching this movie, it's beyond clear. Because if you're looking at the scene with the giant war elephants right there, the elephant has a pyramid on his back. It's a pyramid on his back that's carrying the opposing forces. All right, and of course that's what's on the back of the dollar bill, Novus Ordo Seclorum, which means New Order of the Ages. All right, or the NWO, which is what they're pushing for. All right, that battle between good and evil. Let me read Genesis 27 and 41, but I'm going to start at 40. The point is in 41. And it reads, and by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. It shall come to pass, when thou shalt have dominion, and thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. All right, so Esau was under Jacob, serving. But Esau broke the yoke, and then the blessing of his sword kicked in. Same thing happened in this movie. This movie, the king's brother was the one who tried to usurp him and overthrow him and take the throne. And kill off his seed line, kill off his own nephew, his own blood, which came from the same waters that he did. All right. Verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherein his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. And Jacob has sought to slay Esau has sought to slay Jacob ever since. And the same thing was in this movie. All right. And he dealt heavily on the left-hand side to do so. As a matter of fact, in this particular movie, one of the ways that he was determining who could be the possible king, because the son got away in his murder attempt of their family. What he was doing was collecting up all the young men in the kingdom, and he would make them try to pull the sword out of the stone, as you see right here in this scene here. All right. And what he would do, they would like not even paying attention to him, because they were so used to everyone failing at the attempt. All right. Like the scripture said, the Lord shall come as a thief in the night. People don't, you got people who believe, people who have believed, and people who don't believe, but they're lackadaisy, But what they would do is they would have people attempt to pull the sword, and then they would and then when they failed, they would mark their hand. They would put a mark upon their hand, burn a mark into their hand, right? Remnant of Revelation 13:16, the MOTB, the Marcus Aurelius. All right, but as he did return, the born king, he pulled the sword, and then war was waged. And they said it was going to be a shock like on theirs, because they were amazed, because when he came to pull that sword, he did it. All right. The Lord is going to come as a thief in the night, and he's coming with a great sword. All right. He's coming with a great sword. All right. Oh, and the guy couldn't understand, because the sword was buried in water. And he was, the wicked king. He was trying to figure out, why did the water reveal the sword? Because the sword was underwater inside of a rock. And the lady told him that the prophecies have to be fulfilled. And it's, you know, and as much as your power grows, so does your opposition. So as much as Esau was able to get everything in order to, you know, his wicked decrees, and get his wicked laws in order, and establish his militaries and all these other lands and NATO and all that, the awakening of the Israelites could not be denied. The prophecy of the awakening of the Israelites had to happen, and that is what he feared. All right. And our king, Yahweh Shai, the King of Kings, is going to return, and he's going to return with the sword. He's not going to return being all nice. This is Matthew 10:34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. And you know how people equate that to happiness, joy, you know, hand claps, lollipops, and Tootsie Rolls. No, when the Lord comes back, he's going to wage a bloody, horrific war. And he's not going to greet you like a man. He's going to greet you. He's going to come back in his power, man. All right. But, you know, Esau's running in this movie. He was running to his wicked. And matter of fact, he was doing blood sacrifices of his own family members. You know, that's not strange to this place called Babylon. All right. And it was failing him. No matter how hard he tried. He had a time of glory, but it was a short-lived time. Just like Esau has a time where he's going to get cut off. All right. But this is Job. Not Job, but Isaiah. I was thinking of Job in my head when I said that. But this is Isaiah 42 and 13. Yahweh shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up the jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, yea, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies. So he's coming back to smash on you heathens, man. And there's nothing that you can do about it. He's not coming back. And he's going to smash on the wicked of our people as well, man. Those not found written in the book. All right, so that was Isaiah 42 and 13. Now this is Isaiah 47 and 13. And it reads, Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers and stargazers and monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Because see, Esau been running to those left side powers which work for the Most High, which has been lying to him and fooling him. All right, because the Lord controls both the left and the right hand side. Okay, matter of fact, let's shoot over to Isaiah 45 and 7 to prove that point. And it reads, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. So who the world ignorantly calls God, he creates both the good and evil. And the evil works for him. And the evil is what Esau has been running to and having counsels with. And then they go back and report to the Lord. So the Lord can, Esau think he's the author of controlled opposition. No, Yahweh is. All right. He's let you fool yourself into thinking your new world order would happen, man. Your new age, your new order of the ages. And just like in this, the guy was questioning what the tower is not complete. Why is the sword appearing? All right. So just the same way that, Nimrod tried to build a tower in past times and it failed. Esau Edom was trying to build a spiritual tower, if you would, in this time, and it's failing. All right. And the main thing he's doing is through man-made pestilences and things like that. But it's really not even man-made. The Lord controls it. All right. Through that, he's going to bring his order ab chaos by shutting down everything. The job place, the marketplace, the goods and services, and everything in between. Just so that Pritzker put out a mandate for daycare workers, man. So now the daycare workers and many are going to take it, and probably many are not going to take it. Either way, what that's going to do is going to create a mad shortage in that field, which is going to make it where people can no longer go to work because they have to take care of their children. You see, so it's going to have a trickle effect. And this is what he wants. He wants order out of chaos. He creates problem, action, action, solution, reaction, solution. the Galilean dialect. You create the problem, you watch the reaction, then you come with your solution. All right. I like to use the the analogy of the burning house. How someone kicks in the door, runs in and risks their lives and pulls you from the fire and saves you, and you just so in love with them and looking at them as a hero, and they're the savior of you and your family, and and then you find out later on that they're the one that set the fire in the first place. All right, that's how Esau Edom operates, man. But all that's gonna come to naught, when Yahweh Shah shows up. Matter of fact, let's shoot over to Psalms 63, and I see you moving around. My beast was sick. Now he's feeling better. Had to come over here and spend some time with him. Call Lord Yahweh Shai. Prayer works, man. He's older now, but I thought he was going to check out on me, but he's moving around now. All right, this is Isaiah 63:1, and it reads, "Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth the wine vat? I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me, and I will tread them in my anger, and trample them in my fury. For their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come." So the Lord's going to trample them like grapes, trample their guts out, and splash his garments with their blood, with their innards. All right, unmercifully. Then he says the day of vengeance is in his heart. All right. Verse 5, "And I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there were none to uphold. Therefore mine own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury is upheld me." All right, so the King of Kings is going to do this, man. But he did say that his Israelites are going to get it in, man. All right, the prophecy says that he's going to make us his battle axe and weapon of war. Right? He said that we're going to get vengeance against. He's going to get vengeance against Edom by the hand of his people, Israel. All right. Verse 6, "And I will tread down the people in my anger, and make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down their strength to the earth," man. So Esau's power structures, his military, his governments, all his unrighteous things that he set up illegally, ungodly, is all going to be brought to naught, man. This is let's go to Revelation. 2, and I'm going to read 26 through 29. And it reads, "And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations." So somebody's got to be a servant in the kingdom of heaven. All the other nations. All right. So Yahweh Shai is going to rule over all the other nations, and the elect are going to be his co-heirs. Those crowns are going to get put on all their heads, because they're going to be the judges. That's your 144,000. The 144,000 judges of the earth. All right. Yahweh Shai is going to sit down on his throne, man. And then everybody's going to do the work for him, because he's the King of Kings. He will be a king over, and then he's going to set up King David, and then all the kings under King David, the 144,000 judges. And they're going to rule over the world and the universe through the power of Yahweh Shai, which is granted through him, through the Father Yahweh. That's it. That's the order. And that's exactly what's about to happen. All right. "And he shall rule them with the rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father." So that doesn't sound like this gonna just come back and get, like I said, give out high fives, lollipops, Tootsie Rolls, bubble gum, and hugs, man. That's not how the Lord is coming, man. All right. "And I will give him the morning star, and he that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit say unto the churches." And who were the 7 churches? The Israelites, man. Those were your saints. Those were gathered, man. Those who were foreknew. All right. Which was the gathering of the saints. And the saints are what? The Israelites, not the other nations, not the heathen. All right. The other heathen are going under subjection. And one last scripture. This is Psalms 2 and 8. You could actually read that whole chapter, but we're just going to read verse 8. And it reads, Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Now we read verse 9. And thou shalt break them with the rod of iron, and thou shalt dash them in pieces like the potter's vessel. All right, so all you other nations are going to bow down, be destroyed, be ruled over. All right, and then after your 1,000 years of servitude and payment of reparations is paid back to the Israelites for their slavery and the stealing of their heritage and their mistreatment in this current wicked system that we're in. After that, you're gonna go to your lands and live in peace, and there will be harmony, clean water, clean food, you know, and actual true justice in the earth. Call halal Yahweh by Shem Shai by Shem Rakak Wadash Wa Ababa Bal Kwam Yasharala.